Good morning, everybody. Today we will be rebuilding the front end suspension parts on the Duramax. It's been a little bit neglected, but I went and got pretty much all Kryptonite stuff. And shout out to Ruby's in, I think, Greensboro, North Carolina. They fast shipping, hooked me up. They were a lot better than companies I've ordered from California. So shout out to them. But let's get started. I already broke the lug nuts loose. We'll get it in the air, put it on jack stands, and get started. If you order like $1,000 worth of parts, you get the stickers. Okay, so we went all Kryptonite, tie rod ends, the support, idler arm, pit and arm. The only thing in wheel bearings, that's the part number for that, is that there. This is like brand new out of the box. It may have been sitting a while, but it's been in a garage. They're definitely heavy duty, but we'll get putting it on, everything packaged nicely. And the wheel bearings had another piece up here. But let's get started. All right, first thing I think we'll tackle is the tie rod ends. Just take some PB blaster and spray over everything that I'm gonna take off. That nut's a 21 here. So my son has already lost my big breaker bar. So hopefully these things ain't too awful tight to break loose. So remember, lefty loosey on these idler arms because they come right off. It's a lot less struggle than tighten them up and then having to loosen them. Okay, round two. I attempted to get the inner tie rod off with adjustable wrench. That didn't work, so I had to run to the store. 2 hours into the project, and I've got one bolt out. Well, finally got it out, and it's in there like this, and you'll take, I used a pipe wrench in it, that worked a lot better, and you turn it like that to get it off. Next, right here is Carter key. You just take needle nose pliers or pliers and get it straight and then pull it out. And then you want to take that bolt off. It is a 22 millimeter. And working on the same piece, it goes to the steering box and there's a nut on it. I'm gonna try to use this adjustable again. This was a little less greasy and okay, now my understanding from my research is you got to take out this bolt, and loosen this bolt so you can rotate the steering gearbox so you'll have enough room for this to drop down so you can get the control arm, which and they are 21 millimeter. And the 3 bolts I'm talking about, so one that's on, this one here, and then there's one right here behind this little piece, and you just loosen this top one, but you take the other 2, you can take those out. I think at this point, what I'm looking at is I need to go take my alarm off this side, take off the tie rod end on the other side so the end link can swivel. Since we're on the passenger side, we have the crescent wrench like that and pulling like in that motion. And same thing, we'll take out this carter pin. And okay, the next bolt I'm gonna try to get out is this one here. It's a 22 millimeter. Okay, next I'm gonna put this puller up here and pull it. Okay, now we're back on the driver's side, and we're gonna try to get this back loose off the steering box. Okay, now what I'm having to do is take the sway bar off so I can get my puller on the steering shaft gearbox. Having trouble getting the pitman arm off the steering gearbox, or the idler arm, whichever one it is. I've tried taking it off, well, taking it loose. So now what I'm going to try, and if it works, it'll be genius. I've got 2 idler arm pulleys. I'm going to take this right here. It's just a scrap piece of metal I got laying around. I'm going to put it between the 2 idler arms and put pressure up, and hopefully that's strong enough to, when I tighten both the idler arm pulleys at the same time, hopefully that'll be strong enough to pull it loose. Okay, one thing I did just learn is I couldn't get the pitman arm puller on. So, and I've cut the relief notch and all, still couldn't get the puller on. So I decided to take and try to turn the wheel all the way to the right, and that actually freed up a lot of room to actually get the puller up there. So maybe maybe now it'll fit. This is how I have it. This is the CV axle for the driver's side, and it's actually on the nut and everything. Like I said, I had to turn the wheel all the way to the right in the inside. seem to work. What I would do, instead of cutting this relief cut, if you have a truck from not a rust area, I would try turning the wheel all the way to the right and then seeing if you can get this pulley on it, because I feel like it would have came right off if I could have got to it. Alright, let's go to the other side and get that one off, which I've already got most of it. Now I'm going to try to take the support off. Hopefully it'll come off all in one go. And the aileron support is a 21. And the two bolts I'm taking off, there's one here and then there's one, it's right behind this black hose here. But they're both 21 millimeters. Alright, this side was definitely easier. So this is a comparison of tie rod ends, Kryptonite versus factory. There's the pitman arm, Kryptonite versus factory. This is the aileron arm and aileron support. So you can definitely tell the difference. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and reassemble my support. According to the instructions, it should be 100 foot-pounds here, and then the supplied bolts will also be 100 foot-pounds. The supplied bolt with the aileron support is 24. The actual bolts are feel like 22s, 21s, but this one here is a 24. Alright, we got that torqued down, and basically I had the devices here. Part of the device was hanging over here, and I had a towel on it. So you got to torque it. This will rotate and hit your vise, and then you put your 100 foot-pounds on it. Okay, so to get this in, if you feel at the top, where the top bolt is, there's a metal plate that's up against the passenger side, and you pretty much have to kind of swivel it in there and then push straight up. Like, you can't be at an angle or you'll get caught on that lip. But if you keep going, it will eventually slide in there. I think these supplied nuts are 22s. I had to pull down on the center link and kind of twist it at the same time, moving this where it needed to go into the center link hole, and it just kind of fell into place. It was a little aggravating, but it is what it is. But just to recap, I installed the aileron and support all together. I had to finagle this right here to get the aileron to go through the hole. Then when I went to go tighten this 22 millimeter, the whole thing was spinning. So this is a 10 millimeter, this end, and if you get like an adjustable wrench, if you don't have a 22 millimeter wrench, you can just loosen this, which will cause this nut to tighten until you get to a certain point, and then you can hit it with an impact or whatever. Okay, to get that on, I zip tied the center link, laid on my back, kind of already had the pitman arm ready to go on, pushed up on the steering gearbox, and got the pitman arm. It kind of held up there, so then I did it again and put the nut on the steering gearbox. Everything's loose. I'll probably go ahead and cut that zip tie that I just did and get that in there. Okay, so quick recap. Had to put the pitman arm back on the steering box, unhook the idle arm from the other side, and so the center link could twist. My neighbor came over and helped me align everything at the same time, and I think that's the only way you can do it. Day 2, we'll be replacing the wheel bearings. These aren't bad, but my studs broke off, and it's all one assembly. So that, and I feel like some of these lugs have got stretched or something. My lug nuts aren't tight enough and staying tight, so we'll replace it. We got the parts, so. Alright. This wheel nut is a 36 millimeter, maybe a 35, but I got a 36 and that's what we're going to use. The two bolts I'm taking off are 18 millimeter. That's the one that the wrench is on and the one that's up here. They are 21 millimeter. Alright, we got the rotor off. Now we're going to try to get this bolt off here. Now there's 4 bolts that we need to take out here. This is 1, 2. The other side's got pretty much the same 2. These are 15 millimeter. Next, we need to take off this sensor from up here. There's a blue connector, and it's just a clip connector, and you unplug it from there and then de-wire it all the way down. Make sure when you zip tie your caliper out of the way that you don't zip tie over this line, because then you gotta cut it for no reason. So everybody I've seen on YouTube said you may have to hit here and do something. I loosened 4 bolts and pulled on it a little bit. It seemed like it wanted to come on out. think these right here are supposed to be the caliper bracket, supposed to be tacked toward the 233 pounds. All right, now I think we're done with this side. I think all we really got left is to make the spray line zip tied somewhere, and then we'll jump on the other side, go ahead and knock it out. Hey guys, this was kind of long, drawn out, but we replaced the pivot arm, island arm support, and wheel bearings, and tie rod ends. All Kryptonite products. All in all, happy with the quality, and thank you guys for joining. If you got any questions, comment down below, and y'all have a good one. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be having some more DIY installs. It'll probably be starting on that 55 again. I think I kind of got it lined out how I want it with my idea, so we'll go from there. Thanks.